Hello, everybody, and welcome to the HQTA Podcast. That's Hard Questions, Tougher Answers. I'm Sean, and I'm joined by my fellow co-host, Eric.
What's up, guys?
And Ethan.
Hey, hey.
So in this podcast, we ask a whole bunch of silly but tough questions, and we debate amongst ourselves what the best answer is. So why don't we get started, Eric? How about you fire off your first question of the evening for us?
All right, let's go ahead and get started. So our first question of the night is, would you rather every time you fart, confetti shoots out of your ass, or whenever you sneeze, a booger hangs from your nostrils, of which you are unaware until the next time you look in the mirror? So this is kind of reminiscent of the dinner we just ate with Ethan's booger hanging off his face into his beard.
Okay. So we have, you can either poot and confetti flies out, or every time you sneeze, you have a nasty boog hanging down.
Yes.
So one is gross and one is silly,
Humorous.
but then also highly unusual.
Yes, exactly. It's out of the ordinary.
I would say my main question would be, in everyday life, we're usually clothed.
Excellent point.
So does the confetti pass through our clothes to where everybody knows that we just farted and confetti is now raining down on everybody, or...
So the confetti spills out of your pants.
So it's like originates somehow out of your pants and shoots outwards.
Yes. So
Okay.
as Ethan mentioned, we are spend most of our lives clothed. So if you by chance are naked, then it just spurts out of your asshole. I love the word spurt.
So it's kind of like wherever the gas shoots out, confetti is like the visible, like a visible representation of the gas molecules.
Correct.
Okay, so it would be extremely unusual to fart confetti. I keep on wanting to say spaghetti, which would be even worse or better, depending on...
We'll save that for a future episode.
Yeah. So you'd almost need to hold in your farts more often. You couldn't really sneak it out, because even if you look around, no one's there, you fart, and then 30 seconds later someone walks by like, where the hell did all this confetti come from? After a while, they would put two and two together and realize that you're the source. So, and it's also it's easier to hold in farts than it is sneezes. Sometimes you just can't help but sneeze.
Exactly. This is a very in-depth question. There are a lot of implications that you guys are just waiting to sink your teeth into.
Juicy implications. I will say one of the things that disgusts me the most, if not the most in life, is like snot coming out of people's noses when they sneeze or something. Yeah, don't. I have some very bad experience with that. So that seeing that on other people would be disgusting. If it happened to me, probably not so bad, but I wouldn't want to put my feelings towards that on someone else's if they have to continuously look at me anytime I sneezed. And it'd also be, as you said, do we know it's there, or does it just happen and it doesn't register with us until we see ourselves in the mirror?
Exactly. So you don't notice it until the next time you look in the mirror.
Okay.
But when you catch on then, though, like, hey, like the last 5 times I've sneezed and then I've looked at myself, hey, I got something hanging out here.
That is inexplicably irrelevant. So it is just
as with the confetti miraculously appears
yes.
out of your ass area, your mind is incapable of connecting the dots to the memory that every time you sneeze, snot is hanging down.
Correct.
God. Well, I guess you have to ask yourself, I think normal people fart a lot more in a day than they do sneeze. So you have to say, how often do you go without sneezing any in a day?
I think at some point we're going to have to do a study on this. We're just going to have to go during a day, be mindful of our bodily functions, and jot down how many times we rip ass.
It would answer a lot of questions. So that would help us.
Well, yeah, we're here to answer these questions.
This could be a more evidence-based podcast.
Yes.
I like it.
We'll follow up down the road.
Yeah,
I say
down the road.
Just today, I think I've sneezed once, maybe twice, and I've probably ripped ass around a dozen times and counting.
Yeah, we'll probably put that up.
Maybe
probably 2 dozen,
twice that by the end of the recording. But so that's a lot of confetti.
Let me give you guys 3 angles to look at this from.
Here we go.
The first one is that the snot thing, the booger thing, is 100% gross. The fart thing with the confetti, it's like pretty gross, but
it's comical.
At the same time, it's comical, yes, and it leads into my next perspective, which is that you could be a huge hit at celebrations.
Yeah, at a party,
kids' birthday parties.
Right, correct. So there is that comical aspect that where you could be an onstage comedian or something, and even if you're just halfway good, as long as you can rip a couple during every performance and just shoot out confetti, everyone would be like, "Where's it come from?" You'd be a miracle.
Yes.
It's the perfect icebreaker for, functions. Even if you're going on a date or whatever, you just it's like
pretend like you drop something, bend down. Uh-oh. Dun, 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 dun.
Confetti just come out your ass. And then it just goes into a whole, you talk hours about that.
Okay, so I mean that would be good. You could probably make some money, be notorious for being the confetti man. But you think that it'd have to eventually that would get old in your personal life. If you have a loved one, significant other, eventually they would get tired, be like, what is with all this fucking confetti?
Yes.
There's not enough vacuums in the world.
And that's a perfect...
Okay, make it 13, sorry.
So that's a perfect segue into my third perspective, because I feel like we're leaning a little bit more towards the confetti coming out of the ass, because that seems,
that's where
in
I'm
my
leaning
opinion,
right now.
slightly more
I'm
attractive.
Still contemplating.
So my third perspective on this is, so for example, Sean, you've farted 13 times today.
Yes.
Imagine having to clean up a handful of confetti every time you fart.
That's a nightmare. You have to carry like a dustpan or one of those hand vacuums everywhere you go.
Little handheld vacuum cleaner.
Especially, imagine you're at important function or a funeral or a wedding. Sometimes you let those slip. If you have a blast of confetti coming out, I mean, the jokes are going to wear thin real quick with people who know you. They'll be like, come on, man, what the fuck? Again?
Well,
because I assume they're still going to stink. And then there's going to be added of confetti flying. I mean, with us in this room, just imagine this confetti flying all over the place already.
Now, is this confetti clean, or is this coming out your ass? Is there going to be some residue on these things?
It is what you would logically expect. It is somewhat covered in residue.
Fecal matter.
Jesus, okay, that's making up my mind even more. I'm thinking...
But no, one more thing. The confetti is red, blue.
So, well, fuck, it's not even... I was saying you want to do red, white, and blue or some shit. What's red, blue, and yellow?
It's just colorful.
Okay, well, that's not even patriotic, so... Alright, so that's another strike against it. I think as disgusting as... We've been talking a lot about the ass confetti. Let's talk a little bit about the sneezing and the nasty booger and snot hanging down.
It's hard not to talk about farts, though, because everybody loves to talk about farts.
Make that 14.
It's making its way over to my nostrils. I think it just crawled over Ethan's foot.
Sorry, it's all the dairy milk. So in your everyday life, if you fart, there's confetti all over the place. It's gonna get old and tiresome, and people aren't gonna. It's gonna be hard to be taken seriously. Where if you just have if you sneeze and have snot or boogers hanging out, it'd be just more like you're the disgusting guy, but I don't think people would take you less seriously because you can go days without sneezing. So say it happens, maybe twice a week or something. And then the first person who sees you just like, oh, dude, wipe your nose off. And you do that and you're pretty much free. So I think you can get away with that because unless you're walking downtown or through something and you a whole bunch of people are just looking at you with this nasty shit hanging out of your nose and just dripping into your mustache or whatever. I think it would be easier to go through a day-by-day life with the snot mucus sneeze thing. That's where I'm leaning pretty heavily on right now. I don't know if any of you guys can change my mind on that.
I mean, it's you're pretty run-of-the-mill booger hanging out of your nose, kind of like at dinner, right, Ethan?
Yeah, exactly like that.
Okay,
I
so
still don't know when, because I never got it myself and saw it, but
it crawled back inside. So I mean that's not even that bad. So I was thinking like full on like you just have these rivulets of mucus just pouring out of your nose or something. So if it's just like a booger or a little bit of snot, that's not that bad. I think I could live with that.
It would get old really fast though. I mean, think working the same job 5 to 10 years, working with the same people every single day, you're always that booger guy.
Okay, but all right, say you're in an office and you're a guy you see pretty frequently. Would you rather 2 or 3 times a week say, dude, clean your face off, it's nasty, or several times a day be like, what the fuck, clean up your confetti and stop ripping ass?
Thing is, that's the point though, is you can physically restrain a fart. Sneezes, not so much. You could save that for when you get home, just let out 3 or 4.
All right, so you say the sneezing, you're not aware, once you sneeze, you aren't aware of what's happening. You like mentally block it out.
Correct.
With the confetti condition, are you aware that every time you fart, you do confetti, so you do have the ability to hold it in?
Yes, it's not a surprise every time it happens.
Okay, so that one you do know what's coming.
Yes.
Okay, so then you'd have to spend 90% of your life holding in your farts.
You're bloated.
Yeah, who likes doing that?
Nobody.
No one likes doing that.
Nobody likes that.
So you would have to commit yourself to being like a goofball, a comedian, a performance act if you want the confetti ass. I don't think you could live a normal life with confetti being shot out of your butt.
Yeah, I mean, I was leaning towards the confetti most of this discussion, and then you lost me when it became Shitfetti.
Yeah, that was one of the major strikes. Is not only you have to clean it up, but it by itself just reeks of shit.
So now you can't even like use the handheld vac. You have to find a
mop.
broom and dustpan. Mop up the floor after you clean it up.
Sanitize everywhere you go.
Well, it's not like
Febreze.
dripping brown poo,
but it smells, right?
Yeah, it smells like a fart.
Who wants to put that in the vacuum cleaner? Because then it gets all hot and
okay. So you fart and it smells bad for like 15 seconds, and then you're like, okay, it's cleared. With the confetti, it's going to stay by you and it's going to stay stinky.
Nah, I mean it would dissipate rapidly. Like, I mean, this confetti is not being stored in your colon. It just simply comes out of nowhere and is covered in the shit particles.
And then only the shit particles evaporate, but the confetti remains?
Well, I mean, they eventually
They evaporate. What time are we talking about?
I mean, the smell would dissipate about the same time that your fart dissipates, and it depends on the fart, the degree of fart. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean,
vaguely, you're kind of playing around with fart mechanics and science. And
this confetti is not saturated in poo.
Okay,
it's just, I mean, if you picture the very brim of your anus, like a event horizon of a black hole.
Okay, you got me.
Yes. You with me now? Okay.
Out and clear.
So as soon as
here comes the Big Bang.
Yes, exactly. The Big Bang, faster than the speed of light, fart comes out of your anus. the confetti is caught up all in that shit shotgun.
Okay.
But it's not actually being stored in your anus.
Okay, so it's saturated with the gas, but not physical shit.
Right.
Okay,
right.
That's a little better. I think me and Ethan were both thinking that the confetti was smeared with colon matter.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not actually like shit paper. It's just confetti that has been doused in concentrated butt gas.
Yes,
okay.
Extremely
so that's a little bit better. That's a little bit better.
See,
so it's not like you're cleaning up shit.
It has to be highly concentrated to escape the incredible gravity of your massive black hole of an anus.
Yeah, we're going to need to write up some papers on here. We need some equations. We need the velocity of the poop coming out, the mass of the confetti.
This has become a seriously scientific.
We'll do a part 2 coming out of this.
Anyways,
final
ruling.
Yeah, let's wrap this up. I don't think I'd be comfortable as much as I would. If I could pick for like a month or a week, I'll be rocking that confetti. Even, I mean, just in the minutes that we've been recording, it's pretty safe to say that this sofa would be already pretty decorated. I'll say that. But to live life like that, I don't think. I think that'd just be too much. I think I'd rather be kind of the gross guy who, a few times a month, you're gonna see him with a booger hanging out. And I think it'd be easier to have a loved one who is aware of your condition to always have a handkerchief with them, and they'd be like, "Oh, wipe your nose, dear," instead of being like, "God damn it, confetti again." So, for those reasons, I'm gonna go. My final answer is I'm gonna go with sneezing and having a booger hang out of your nose.
Ethan, what say you?
I'm going to lean back to the confetti. Like, if it's not going to be covered in shit, I'm going to be the life of the party.
Exactly.
Hopefully the people at work will embrace me.
Do you really think that's going to happen, though?
That I'll get embraced?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a medical condition, John.
Exactly. They have to accept me.
How is it a medical condition? It defies physics.
You can't help it. Exactly. That's the point.
He can help it. He can hold. All right, let me see. Would you hold them in? Or would you let blast like regular?
I guess it depends on the scenario, who exactly I'm around.
Like, you're around just work.
I wouldn't walk into the boss's office and just let one rip and then have a nice
you
little shower.
You wouldn't
of
do that.
confetti.
Just say in your regular life, the amount, like the
amount of times I rip ass in a day.
Yeah,
I would probably contain it 50% of the time.
Okay, and you'd be okay with that.
Yeah,
and so you'd be okay with just cleaning up after yourself constantly at. Would you actually clean up after yourself at work?
No. Well, maybe no.
Okay, so you just leave messes. Okay, we'll see how far you get in life with that. And yeah, just imagining, try to get ahead in companies or something once that confetti starts flying.
I just make a couple trips to the bathroom or go outside briefly and just kind of, and then let it rain and then walk back in.
Okay,
make it rain. Yeah, see, and that's my final point. I go with Ethan. I would prefer the
Shitfetti.
Shitfetti, yes, thank you.
So once again, I'm flying solo on this.
Yes, and here's why. Think of how frequently we fart in each other's presence,
right? And
how well we have gotten at spicing it up, making it fresh and new, and making it funny every time.
Yes.
Right? So if we can do that for a regular plain old fart, think of all the potential we have for a confetti fart.
That would increase the humor factor of the point blank explosions we have on each other. So I mean, it's bad enough taking turning around and getting a face first of nauseous ass gas, but then you have a face full of confetti just flying over your, get a bunch of fanfare going on.
Yeah, is it kind of like an air gun too? So you fire it off, so you get that initial burst, and then it dissipates and spreads.
Yeah.
So if you go point blank in the person's face, you're just gonna get just concentrated confetti straight to the face.
So if you're sitting down, does it shoot out from the sides, or does it just cover the seat so when you get up it's kind of like glitter, but it's just kind of plastered there?
Yeah. It would do exactly what you would. I mean, think about it. This is physics, right? This is real science.
Yeah,
so it would do exactly what you would expect. I mean, if your anus is sealed against a chair, it's just going to go right into the chair and sit there until you sit up and stand up.
Well, at least you'd be able to clean your chair.
That's right. Nobody would want to sit on that.
Yeah, it would just be kind of like a bucket or something. You just kind of continuously just rip into that, and the confetti, then just kind of pour that into a trash can every once in a while.
And the other thing is the volume of the fart is directly proportional to the quantity of confetti coming out of your ass.
Okay, so you can do a little squeaker and just get out a handful of confetti.
Just one little piece of
right, or you can do the roll onto your back, spread your legs, and then shoot out a cannon burst of confetti. As we are wont to do on time to time.
Ass cannon.
Okay, so that almost won me over. I'm actually debating now, but I'm going to stick with my original answer. Just
join us.
I was just playing a little devil's advocate there.
I like it.
I think it would be funny, but I think it could get old, so I'd rather just go with the snot. So once again, we are split, and Ethan and Eric are picking the silly confetti option, and I'm picking the, I think, more realistic snot option. So as always, guys, just get back to us. Tell us what you would want. Ass confetti or sneeze boogers. Hit us up at our Instagram, Twitter, HQTA Podcast, or email HQTA Podcast at gmail.com.
Or don't.
Or don't. Yeah, we don't really give a shit. All right, so let's move right along. Ethan, what do you got for us tonight?
All right, My question that I have for you guys is, would you rather shove a piece of glass up your piss hole or a string of nails up your ass that you then have to rip out at once?
A string of nails?
Describe the string of nails.
They're probably...
Are they strung like head to tip?
No. They're strung horizontal.
So like a
nail gun type.
Yeah,
cartridge.
like a nail gun.
Yeah, so, you twist the string around the middle, and they're kind of just dangling there. If that makes sense.
It makes less sense than the more you describe it. A clump of nails, let's just say that.
No, it's not a clump of nails. It's one by one that you shove up your ass.
Oh, so it's like anal beads, but nails?
Nails. And then you take it and you rip it out all at once.
Okay, or a piece of...
glass up your piss hole.
All right, describe this glass now, because you've been on about the...
It's about any piece of glass that's going up your piss hole is not going to be pleasant, but it's like a shard. It's like a shard of small glass.
Okay.
So like if my
like a reverse
car window was shattered, so like a 3mm by 3mm piece of glass,
maybe a little bigger than that.
So it's like a reverse kidney stone.
Yes.
Okay, but you have to shove it in.
You have to shove it in.
Okay,
into your kidney, or like when does it stop at the tip of your urethra and then your body just swallows it up?
I don't see how you're going to shove it as far as you can. I mean, you just have to get it in your piss hole.
Okay.
And then also know that what goes in must come out.
Right.
That one makes me uncomfortable.
Okay. Or shoving...
a string of nails.
So what are the long-term medical repercussions of these implications?
I think you can imagine what they would be.
Okay, so this is not a wake up tomorrow and you've recovered.
No.
Okay, so it's basically you're either going to be a torn pee hole or a torn butthole.
So this is laws of physics. This applies to physical laws.
Right. So this
unlike my shit.
This is the real deal. This is Ethan's going with body mutilation yet again.
So here's the thing.
What's the thing?
Nails in your rectum will eventually cause you to die. You could, however, shove a piece of glass into your pee-pee and recover from it. Your pee-pee might not recover, but you would survive. This is going to be the ultimate make or break it for me, because a bowel perforation will kill you.
Right. And especially the act that you have to rip it out yourself.
Yes.
Is you're going to have to, not only do you have to put it inside, which is probably going to be painful, but you have to psych yourself up to yank that string out again.
Right.
And cause yourself harm.
I think I could grip my wiener so hard for the purpose of inserting this shard of glass that it would lessen the pain to a degree.
Yeah.
But, like, there's nothing you can do for your butt.
Yeah. So I'm going to say, I mean, people pass kidney stones that are rather large through their pee-pee hole. Very unpleasant. You know, they scream a lot. Some people like to shove things into their pee-pee hole for their own reasons, their own little turn-on, so it can be done. I suppose it can take some damage without being inoperable.
Well, your dick would be toast.
Oh, we don't know about that. Again, we need to get into the science of this. We haven't nailed down the exact size of the particle.
Don't say that.
So one thing, if I'm gonna find a little loophole in this answer, is that you said we have to shove it in, and then that was it. And
nature would take its course in bringing it back out.
Right, but my nature would be going to a hospital and having an operation done to have it removed, since I don't have to physically yank it out like the string of nails.
Well, you're not going to yank out the shard of glass. You're going to pass it like a kidney stone. It's going to come out when you piss.
Which is exactly the point. You could hold your piss until you get to the emergency room and be like, fix me, and avoid the ripping and the tearing.
So you're going to have surgery on your penis and then it'd be decommissioned for God knows how long?
Oh, I think that's better than having it ripped back, or like pissing it out and causing more damage. I mean, either way, it might be toast, but although on the other hand, I guess you might be able to just drink extraordinarily a huge amount of alcohol to lessen the pain, and then you have to pee really bad, and maybe the combination of both will kind of help push it out, and then you're just kind of done with it.
Well, here's the other thing is a string of nails, however, if we're talking just raw diameter, a string of nails could, now that I think about it, potentially come out of your butthole without causing a perforation. So how far in do we have to insert these nails, and like how many nails is it again? Like how long is the length of this nail chain?
It's about 5 nails.
5 nails.
5 nails.
What size are these nails? Are these like regular
They're probably like
carpentry nails, or are these big boys?
3-4 inches.
Okay, that's pretty large. That's rather large.
Nail.
4 inches.
That is, so that's
20
inches of nail.
Yeah. Just
That's
shoved in there.
over 1.5 feet of nail. But, and I mean that literally,
but
one in theory could pass that easier than passing a piece of glass 5 inches or 5 millimeters in diameter,
right,
through the PPP.
And I think you can be more careful the way that you put these nails in.
True.
You know, if you
could be
just
strategic about it.
Yeah, just like slide them in one at a time. Just kind of go like straight in. Don't go at an angle. Don't poke yourself. And you might be able to fit them the whole string inside of you without all that much discomfort.
If we're talking, go ahead.
I'm done.
If we're talking about loopholes, I'm going to wrap my chain of nails in a lubricated plastic coating, then insert it.
No, there's none of that. It's just straight up string and nails.
Well, then I think we have to rule out the surgical procedure as well.
Yeah, that's I'll go against that now. Yeah, I wasn't really
All
thinking
things
about
considered.
the nails all that much until you brought up the fact that I think shoving glass up your pee hole is guaranteed it's going to cause some damage. You might be able to recover from it. I think the nails is kind of a risk-reward type thing, where if you do it right, you can insert and pull it out without too much damage. But if you screw that up, as you said at the beginning, Eric, it can be life-threatening.
Exactly.
So you have to balance out, this could be easier for me, with this could be the last thing I do, and I'll be remembered for yanking nails out of my ass.
I ultimately have to risk my PPP over my life. I mean, it's very risky, but there is the potential that I could somehow dilate the inside of my urethra by drinking tons of fluids, like you said, Sean, and then pass it, without incident. So I would have to take my risks with the PPP.
I was full on PPP before you brought up that you can be careful with these nails, and that's intriguing me now. Where I think you might be able to pull that off. You might be able to get those nails up there.
I mean,
as long as you're not being jostled around.
It's a hard pull out though. Like,
right. So
it's
you
not
need,
gentle when you're pulling it.
it's a lawnmower type move.
Yeah.
However, I think if you set it up right, so I would insert the nails point first. So when I yank, I'm pulling the head towards me and not the sharp tips towards me.
It's not going to
so that there could be more scraping, but there's less chance of it sliding into the hole and being yanked
puncturing.
In a direction. So I think I'm gonna go with nails up the butt. I'm gonna go slowly and carefully, and when I yank it out, I'm gonna sit on
cord and pray.
See, yeah. So here's the other thing: is you could study, do a brief review, a brief Google of the anatomy of your colon, and then position your body in such a way that it just slides right out theoretically.
And everyone knows, I mean, people take big dumps, so, I mean, there can be some space that the butt can handle some things coming out of it, so.
True. But.
And you just gotta be nice and relaxed, flowy.
See, I don't think you understand, though. Your colon is not a.
It's a cavern. Right?
Right. The human colon, not your colon, first of all. I don't know anything about your colon. But I'm just saying the large intestine is not I don't think it's a particularly tough membrane. I mean, I think the head of a nail could still puncture it pretty easily, I would imagine.
I think there's no doubt there's going to be some bleeding, there's going to be some scraping. But I think that there is a risk that something bad could happen, but there's also a chance that I could get it out with minimum discomfort or pain.
And then you're a legend.
And then then I'll make it into a necklace and walk around and be like, hey, where do you get that brown and red nail necklace? And you'd be like, let me show you.
And I'm walking around without a dick.
Yeah, then you're walking around like, ow, 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 ow. So, yeah, you can mutilate your PPP. I'm going to shove some nails up my butt and just cross my fingers, yank, and hope for the best.
All right. Well, split decision.
Ethan, it's up to you. Let's hope this one goes better than some of the other tiebreakers you've had.
I think I'm going to go also risk my life, because I don't think I could live with myself if I didn't have a penis.
I have a son to carry on my name.
I just don't know if I could psych myself up to do that.
You just got to squeeze it really hard. I'm telling you.
See, that's like counterintuitive to me. I don't see how that would help. But
so I will go with the nails
up the butt
for the sake of it. Like either way, Eric says that we're gonna die due to a bowel perforation. I'm like, well, that sucks. I think I would kill myself if I didn't have a penis. So
I wouldn't.
What we could do is we could have a double nail string. We put it in our butts, and they're connected to each other. And then we sprint in opposite directions and see what happens.
Yeah, you guys could like lay in the back of two pickup trucks,
yeah,
and just drive them in either direction. Meanwhile, I'll be over here gripping my dick as hard as I can.
Here we go!
Red-faced.
Okay, so that's a thoroughly disgusting.
I don't think there's much more to say.
Yeah, it's a classic lose here. So it's HQTA to the core.
This episode is over.
Our lives are over.
Bye.
Oh, 17.
That wraps up this episode of HQTA Podcast.
Don't forget to send us your questions that you have for us at hqtapodcast@gmail.com, or you could also do the same very thing on Twitter or Instagram, HQTA Podcast.
And feel free to weigh in on the discussion. These are very, very important questions that society needs answers to.
Yes.
So feel free
to weigh in. We're doing a service here to you fuckers.
Send us your feedback.
Do the least you can do.
Do your due diligence. Jesus.
Do your due diligence.
We'll take mine out. We'll cut that.
No, we're not cutting nothing. All right, guys. Let us know your opinions. Also rate us on iTunes. 5's only. Anything less, you can go fuck yourselves. So. All right, everybody. So until the next episode of the HQTA Podcast, see ya.
See you later.
Bye.